My
Symbiote
results
biology.
are coming
Asterisk even without a
forcefully.
host. The Venom
I have
symbiote is capable of
instant
freely extending its
results.
biomass into
I am
tentacles and
get
tendrils,
results
and
in
usually manifests a
seconds.
fanged mouth and large
I
eye
am
eyes.
getting results
It can also
in
manifest a humanoid head,
nanoseconds.
torso, and arms.
I am
And
getting
after being cleansed,
results
became able to
times
take on humanoid
9M
form without a host for
exploding
brief periods.
suns.
When
I
bonded to a
am
host,
getting
it can
results
shapeshift to
times
mimic any type of clothing
7M
whatsoever, as
exploding
well as blending
suns.
venom in with his surroundings,
I am
rendering
getting
him
results
invisible.
5M
The symbiote can augment all of its host's
exploding
physical
suns
abilities to
times more.
superhuman levels equal to,
I am
and in some
getting
cases greater
results
than, Spider-Man.
4M
Body
exploding
storage.
suns
Asterisk
times
Peter
more.
Parker was able to use the symbiote
I
to
am
store his
getting
camera and rolls of
results
film.
times
Flash often
2M
utilized the symbiote to
exploding
withhold and
suns.
store munitions and equipment
I am
through
getting
dimensional apertures
results
within the suit,
times
wherein he could store
infinity.
foreign objects while keeping
All
a sleek,
affirmations
aerodynamic
are
profile.
in your
Having used this
DNA
quality to
and
store a live
RNA
grenade within his
and
body while keeping
soul
it from exploding.
permanently
Camouflage
irreversible.
capabilities. Asterisk the
My
symbiote is
results
capable of
are
shapeshifting to
coming
mimic the appearance of any form of
forcefully.
clothing, can
I have
camouflage with its
instant
surroundings to appear
results.
invisible, and can even
I
mimic the
am
appearance
get
of other
results
beings.
in
Peter Parker
seconds.
only used the former ability
I
during the
am
brief
getting
period he was bonded
results
to it,
in
while Brock's preferred form
nanoseconds.
of clothing was a black
I
shirt,
am getting
jacket, and
results
pants.
times
Constituent matter
9M
generation. Asterisk the
exploding
symbiote can use the living
suns.
abyss comprising its
I am
matter to
getting
generate synthetic and
results
pseudopod.
times
It can use this for
7M
lethal effect against
exploding
criminals.
suns.
While Spider-Man was unaware of
I
its
am
live
getting
ability
results
and did not consciously use it,
5M
Eddie Brock and its subsequent
exploding
hosts would often use this ability
suns
offensively,
times more.
such as by sending
I
a part
am
of the
getting
symbiote into a
results
victim's body to smother them from the
4M
inside.
exploding
Parasitic
suns
inheritance.
times
Asterisk the
more.
symbiote
I
can
am
copy the
getting
powers and abilities of
results
other beings by
times
interfacing with their
2M
genetic code, and
exploding
primarily
suns.
utilizes the spider powers
I am
adapted from
getting
Spider-Man.
results times
Wall crawling.
infinity.
Asterisk the alien costume
All
replicated Spider-Man's
affirmations
ability to
are in
cling to
your
walls
DNA
by controlling the
and
flux of
RNA
interatomic
and
attraction
soul
between molecular
permanently
boundaries.
irreversible.
Webbing generation.
Page.
Asterisk the symbiote can
My
convert its
results
constituent matter into
are
strands of
coming
white or black
forcefully.
webbing, which it can shoot from the white
I
patches on the
have
back of its hands at
instant
high pressure,
results.
up to a distance of 70
I
feet.
am get
The alien
results
substance
in
seems to be composed of
seconds.
tough, flexible fibers
I
of
am
organic
getting
polymers,
results
which regenerate
in
swiftly after injection.
nanoseconds.
The strands have
I am
extraordinary
getting
adhesive
results
properties, which diminish
times
rapidly once they abandon their
9M
living cells.
exploding
After about
suns.
3 hours, with no
I
source to
am
nourish
getting
them, the
results
strands dry up like dead
times
skin and dissolve
7M
into ash.
exploding
The strands
suns.
possess a tensile strength
I
of
am getting
125
results
pounds per square millimeter of cross
5M
section.
exploding
The one
suns
limitation to this
times
ability was
more.
used to Spider-Man's advantage
I am
during his
getting
second time
results
suspense. Since the webbing
4M
itself is comprised of the
exploding
symbiote's
suns
constituent matter,
times
if Venom
more.
generates too much, he will be left vulnerable, as the symbiote is weakened and
I am
unable to
getting
replenish its lost
results
mass for a
times
short period of time.
2M exploding
Superhuman
suns.
strength. Asterisk before he came into
I am
contact with
getting
the costume.
results
Rocket conditioned himself
times
to lift threats.
infinity.
700
Page.
Once they merged,
All
the costume gave him enough strength to
affirmations
lift
are in
11
your
tons,
DNA
making him more
and
powerful than
RNA
Spider-Man.
and
However,
soul
his full strength often
permanently
fluctuates.
irreversible.
Venom has demonstrated
My
strength ranging
results
from only
are
slightly
coming
greater than
forcefully.
Spider-Man's to being
I
capable of
have
trading
instant
blows with high-powered
results.
individuals such as
I
Justice.
am get
This
results
is
in
caused by the several
seconds.
mutations that the symbiote
I
took
am
with Brock,
getting
gaining
results
additional
in
bulk and muscle mass
nanoseconds.
over long periods of
I
time.
am getting results
Superhuman
times
durability.
9M
Asterisk
exploding
Venom's body is highly
suns.
resistant to physical
I am
injury,
getting
capable of
results
withstanding
times
assault from high-caliber
7M
opponents, as well as
exploding
attacks from
suns.
super-powered individuals.
I am
When
getting
distributed at a typical
results
thickness of approximately,
5M
the symbiote is capable of absorbing bullets from
times
small arms
more.
weapons, firing
I am
conventional
getting
ammunition.
results
The symbiote is, however, particularly vulnerable to
exploding
the
suns
exploding
times
suns.
more. I am
Superhuman
getting
stamina.
results
Asterisk Venom is also
times
capable of
2M
surviving in harmful
exploding
areas
suns.
for long periods of time,
I
such as
am getting
underwater or in
results
toxic gases.
times
The symbiote
infinity.
filtering breathable air.
All affirmations
Regenerative
are in
healing
your
factor.
DNA
Asterisk
and
additionally,
RNA
the symbiote is
and
capable of
soul
healing injuries and
permanently
wounds at a faster rate than normal
irreversible.
human healing allows.
My
The
results
symbiote
are
is also
coming
capable of healing
forcefully.
injuries and illnesses that
I
current
have
human medical
instant
care cannot, such as
results.
cancer.
I
The
am get
symbiote has enabled its host
results
to
in
recover from
seconds.
injuries that should have been lethal,
I am
such as
getting
mouth guard being
results
impaled
in
by the swordsman's
nanoseconds.
mackerel sword, and Flash
I am
Thompson
getting
being impaled by
results
toxins
times
from
9M
and having his head sliced in half by
exploding
Jack-o'-lantern
suns.
D's side. It
I
can even
am getting
resurrect itself as it
results
did with
times
Venom.
7M
Asterisk genetic
exploding
memory.
suns.
Asterisk the symbiote possesses
I am
some
getting
psychic
results
making it capable of obtaining information from its
5M
host, and even other
exploding
pets
suns
and symbiotes.
times more.
The symbiote is capable of
I am
recalling
getting
all
results
previous hosts.
4M
This ability allowed Eddie Brock to learn
exploding
the secret identity of
suns
Spider-Man
times
when the
more.
symbiote bonded with
I
him.
am
It
getting
can, however,
results
be forced to forget
times
information if the symbiote is inflicted with
exploding
heavy
suns.
offspring
I
detection.
am getting
Asterisk the
results
symbiote is also
times
capable of psychically
infinity.
detecting its offspring.
All
However, with effort, this ability can be
affirmations
lost.
are in your
84
DNA and
HTTP
RNA and
slash
soul
Marvel fandom com/wiki/venom symbiote
Page.
Earth660
My results
hashtag note amazing
are coming
Spider-Man ball
forcefully.
1362
I have instant
body
results.
chemistry manipulation.
I
Asterisk
am
can
getting
order to gaslight
results
Eddie into
in
believing he had terminal
seconds.
cancer. The
I
Venom
am
symbiote
getting
altered his
results
biochemistry to
in
simulate cancer.
nanoseconds.
After being temporarily
I
reconnected
am
to
getting
null hive mind,
results
the symbiote gained the ability to
times
directly affect the
9M
neurochemical functions
exploding
within its host
suns.
in order to induce various
I am
psychological
getting
effects,
results
such as calmness,
times
or even
7M
memory suppression.
exploding suns.
Mind link. Asterisk
I
the
am
symbiote
getting
is used to
results
indicate both psionic and biochemical.
5M
The hope is
exploding
potential.
suns
Their powers of the mind
times
initially
more.
start out as weak without a host
I
to
am
bond
getting
to.
results.
Venom's years fused to Eddie's rock had more than strengthened its
Exploding
lingering psychic
suns
powers to the point that
times
screams of
more.
anguish could be felt across all of New York.
5M
While
exploding
indwelled by a
suns.
demon, Agent Venom
getting
employed this
results
creatively through his tendrils to
times
seize
2M
control of an army of
exploding
mercenaries.
suns.
After coming into contact with
I am
Venom,
getting
the
results
symbiote displayed the
times
ability to
infinity.
telepathically communicate with other
Age.
symbiotes.
All
Constituent matter
affirmations
manipulation.
are in your
Asterisk,
DNA
while the
and
symbiote did not use this
RNA
ability
and
frequently
soul
when bonded to anyone,
permanently
it was capable of
irreversible.
transforming parts of its
My
host body.
results are
It once morphed Venom's
coming
hands into
true.
side-like
I
hooks
have
and sword-like
instant
blades during a battle
results.
against Nova,
I
and turned his
get
arms into
results
bat-like
in
wings to let him
seconds.
glide. After
I
being
am
augmented
getting
by Null,
results
the symbiote
in
developed the
nanoseconds.
ability to manifest wings resembling those of a friendly symbiote dragon in order to fly. Venom could also project its biomass into a multi-layered shield to better withstand powerful attacks. When bonded to Max Gargan, it used this ability to grow a tail, emulating Gargan's appearance as the Scorpion. When bonded to Flash Thompson, the symbiote regularly displayed the ability to morph sections of Agent Venom's body, such as his hands or feet, into spikes, blades, axes, or shields. Digital immersion, asterisk in a battle with its offspring Carnage. The Venom symbiote and its host displayed the ability to physically enter into the internet on a molecular level and travel between hardwired computers through Ethernet cables. Empathetic empowerment, asterisk the Venom symbiote, like others of its kind, is capable of feeding off its host's negative emotions, chiefly rage, hatred, and bloodlust, in order to augment its power. However, doing so has a corrupting effect on the symbiote, causing it to become increasingly bloodthirsty, cruel, and feral. Symbiote assimilation, asterisk in a similar manner to how the hybrid symbiote was formed. Venom is capable of amalgamating with other symbiotes in order to bolster their shared power. It merged with its clone, increasing its strength by an unknown degree, and amalgamated with Rex Strickland's symbiote in order to become powerful enough to face Null and the friendly symbiote. Immunity to Spider-Man's spider sense, asterisk due to Spider-Man being a host to the symbiote, Venom, and his offspring are able to bypass Spider-Man's spider sense. Venom is capable of attacking Spider-Man without alerting him, making Venom a deadly foe. It should be noted that as Ben Reilly was cloned from Peter before he bonded with Venom, Eddie was not immune to his spider sense. Venom's fangs, asterisk an ability developed by Eddie Brock upon bonding with symbiote. Originally, he commanded the symbiote to sprout a maniacal grin and tongue, differentiating him from Spider-Man. Later, it was revealed that this set of fangs not only intimidates foes, but can deliver a powerful venomous bite to its namesake. This bite was able to cripple the fangs, eventually leaving the villain turned hero unable to reform himself properly, and almost causing his death. Stretching and deforming. Asterisk, although it's widely known that the symbiote can stretch and deform itself. Recently, it was able to perform this ability while bonded with its own host. Venom can expand to any size as long as they have something to grow on, such as a fruit or an object. Symbiotes can get inside of small areas such as electric wires and the insides of cars and completely deceive. Telepathy resistance. Asterisk has a result of Venom being a bond between two separate minds. It takes longer than conventional for a telepath to affect its mind. This defense is not absolute, however. Asterisk energy absorption and transference. Asterisk after connecting to the symbiote hive mind of Earth 1051, the symbiote displayed the power to channel energy and fire it back at the opponent by morphing its arms into energy cannons, similar to its Earth 23203 counterpart. However, once it disconnected from Earth 1051's hive mind, it lost this ability. Hive mind. Asterisk after being purged of its bloodlust, the symbiote gained access to the symbiote's hive mind, enabling it to communicate with the symbiotes on their homeworld and access information about the species past. Cosmos community. Asterisk has a cleansed printer. The Venom symbiote is able to hear the voice of the cosmos telling it of people in need of assistance. Humanoid form. Asterisk since being cleansed, the symbiote has developed the ability to take on a humanoid form independently of being bonded to its host for a maximum duration of 12 Earth hours. After coming into contact with Null, this ability was augmented to enable it to disguise itself as a human. Proximity tracking. Asterisk Agent Venom can track others by leaving pieces of itself on others, seeking them out wherever they may go. Self-sustenance. Asterisk the Venom symbiote enables the host to survive anywhere in any hostile environment, be it in the cold reaches of space or fatally gaseous areas with relative ease. Flash could even impart this a hazardous element filtration system to others. Morphomorph. Asterisk one time while on mission Flash symbiotically bonded the symbiote into a stripped and broken down car in order to make it operational. Said vehicle was not only greatly reinforced by its constituent matter, but had the appearance, tentacles and biting more normally reminiscent of its sterile state. Hellcar was also able to use it to interface with his species. Symbiotic expansion and psychic RNA. Asterisk through Venom, Milkit could extend his symbiote to others and interlink them to his own being, wielding his warriors like a puppet armed force, which he could further guide and enhance with symbiote-like abilities of their own. Constituent matter manipulation. Asterisk like many users of the symbiote. Milkit can conjure and utilize symbiote biomass in order to create his own colorful arsenal physiological extremities, the likes of razor sharp or blunt force melee weaponry, large bat-like wings to fly with, or simply transforming the symbiote itself into a metamorphic. Dark magic enhancement. Asterisk through his connection with one of Null's creations, Milkit found that his own arcane abilities were greatly enhanced many times over, making both him and the symbiote bonded and powerful enough to trade blows with four iterations of the God of Thunder single-handed. Stretching and deforming. Asterisk to a limited extent, Milkit could utilize the amorphous properties of the Venom symbiote to further enhance himself, having used it elongate his tongue into a lethal razor whip he can fight with. Cash weaknesses. Sonic and heat. Asterisk the symbiote is extremely sensitive to sonic and thermal attacks, making it vulnerable, although the degree of sensitivity has varied over time, and the symbiote has built up a resistance. Psychological corruption. Asterisk the Venom symbiote, like others of its kind, is susceptible to the negative emotions of its host, particularly rage and hatred. At its worst, the symbiote is a bloodthirsty predator that seeks to corrupt or outright control its hosts, compelling them to satiate its ravenous hunger.
exploding suns,
Anti-venom.
and
Asterisk, the
5
anti-venom
million
suits are toxic to the venom symbiote.
and
Its touch is very painful to Venom and its host, and prolonged contact will eventually
exploding
kill.
suns.
However, the original anti-venom died when Eddie used it to cure the Spider-Verse, and the replica died along with Flash Thompson when the Red Goblin murdered him, though Flash and the replica were both eventually revived, although the replica had to return via a symbiote dragon that did not possess the cleansing potential. There is also the threat of the anti-venom serum that Dr. Stephen created in Alchemax and mass-produced despite its apparent destruction. Cellular degeneration. Asterisk, after being affected by the Eggenrack and the K chemical, the symbiote's body began degrading. Thankfully, when it attempted to save Mary Jane by bonding to her, it prevented it from dying. To keep its body intact, it must stay bonded to Mary Jane at all times.